Alright, before I get too far into this video, so at the beginning, before I can do any of this, I actually have to put this armrest and its little jutty out part back in the project car. Okay, you keep focusing on the wrong place. There we go. Center screen. There we go. Completely took it off. Had to fix it. The guy who owned it before me was very abusive to the car, as most people are to these cars. So I had to re-epoxy in this whole thing. And then I had to epoxy and brace this part right here, here, and here are the only thing that hold this in the car. And this one is busted, but I'm not going to fix it. This one was busted. I already kind of reformed it. That one was busted, and that one was busted. So, didn't work too well. Now, on for today's video, my proof of concept last night, which is that guy right there, was a smashing success. Now that I have a downcut bit, subscriber actually, not a subscriber, I don't think he subscribed to me, but had commented that I needed a compression bit, so I went and got one. It worked out great. That's the proof of concept, as you can see, without all the shadowing. Very clean lines. So now, for the UA board, painted it last night, or not the UA board, this is for the Plus Ultra board. That is the UA board, which that'll get painted while I'm carving that, but first I gotta do that. So I will just jump cut to me cutting that. So, as you can see, it looks way worse than it actually is. The bit did not cut all the way through the tape in a lot of spots, but the carving underneath is still pretty. I mean, like here it looks just terrible, but the carving underneath is very good. So I'm going to vacuum all this up. As you can see, it makes quite a bit of dust when you're turning wood into dust. Clean it all up. And then I'll show you how I clean up the tape, because I don't have to do any wood cleanup on this one, unlike on the last one, which was the Uzumaki seal. And yeah, I guess we're just going to have to go from there. Now for some quick cleanup. Quick for you and quick for me, two totally different terms. Took me about 25 minutes. You'll see in about a minute and 10 seconds. All I did was take a brand new X-Acto blade fresh out of the sheathing and trim it up. That is me answering a text message and call. That's probably why it took a little bit longer. Anyway, this turned out very well, to the point where it's almost not worth it to cut with masking on it for simpler things like this. So what I'm going to do from now on is just, unless it's a very complex thing, I'm going to cut with just the bit, no tape. So paint, cut, then mask, then paint, pull the mask. That's what I'm going to do for the UA project, if that is in fact the next part that I do. Just a quick reasoning on why I think this happened. As the bit goes further down, it takes more from the outside. You see that in the time lapse. I think that section of the bit just gets gummed up from everything. So that's basically how I'm gonna do it from now on. So the masking and cutting actually turned out pretty alright. Not as well as I would have liked, but should be fine for what I'm going to be doing. Just going to go ahead and spray the white now, and when I peel it off, I will show you the final results. Well, here's the final product. Still a bit wet. As you can see, I had some bleed through on the taping. A lot of it actually, there's still some tape stuck to it. I'm waiting for the paint to fully dry, but this is pretty much the final product. Not gonna lie, it's really looking like these two-tone placards are not going to be what I want to do going forward. Every one I've done where I just paint it and then carve it looks beautiful. Every time I try to do this interior painting, other than one example, it just doesn't look right. Usually the other one is when I carve and then fill in with paint and then sand it smooth. That always looks very nice as well. It's just something about trying to get both stages of color that isn't working correctly for me. So I'm going to do one more try. That's going to be the UA plaque. That should be sometime next week, but honestly, feeling kind of disappointed about it. Hopefully this ends up working a little bit better going forward, but I mean, it's not terrible, but just not up to the standards that I have for the projects that I make. So, until next time. So I actually went and got a wild hair at my rear end and decided I was going to take a very small grit sandpaper and clean up the bleed through. It actually turned out very nice. It didn't ruin the finish on the red too much, and where it did, I could blend it in a little bit better so I don't have shiny and dull spots. Going forward, I think this is pretty much going to be how I do things. I'm going to try it out when I do the UA, and we're going to see how it goes. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. Hit subscribe if you want to see more of my horrible content, and view my end card a little bit to make me feel better about myself. Thank you, and have a nice day.